Well, today what I did was we brightened up this set of step units where they come and they put it in with the crane, and after years in our winters it gets beat up. So we just kind of patched it up with cement and brightened it up with some paint, and I'm going to show you how we did it. This is one of these set of steps, and they got holes in them. Looks like a piece of plastic is in there.
That's when we chop nice.
And then all this is coming apart. And these are one of these step unit things. So anytime here's a hole here, you get one of these step unit things, the only thing you've got to do is just kind of freshen it up. Right, Mare?
Right.
Yes. And we're not going to spend no money on this, right?
Nope.
Because you were an old girlfriend, and old girlfriends get everything for free, right?
And you're my best ex-boyfriend.
There you go. So we're going to patch
the
these
best.
steps up. So now we're just going to basically scrape off the bad stuff. We're not going to make no big project out of it. You can see cement is getting under there. So we're just going to scrape it off, all the bad stuff. And we get it scraped off enough. Then we get the wire brush and get the rest of it just like that. Yeah, we're doing it dry first, just like a dentist. Get the loose stuff first. Knows who's doing all the work. So we're continuing on. How we're doing the dentist. Get the bad stuff, that's all. It's only a set of steps.
Yeah.
Now we're doing is freshening it up. That's it. Yeah. So it's all peeling off, as you can see. Yeah. Not going to make no big deal out of it. Get it off. We wire brushed it all off. Best we can. We brushed it all off. And I'm going to mix some cement all up. Fast setting. I mean, you could do it with regular cement. We're going to use the fast stuff. Now, if you follow me, I'm kind of pre-wetting it. That's what I'm doing.
You're doing, pre-wetting.
Pre-wetting it, yeah. Let it sink in a little bit. Then when I wet it again, it won't be sucking the stuff out of the concrete so much. So just give it an initial wetting, and then I'll know as I go. I don't want to soak it with the hose.
Right.
Because
too wet, right?
It'll be too wet, yeah.
Hello.
Especially at the end of the...
Yeah, then it won't take, right?
Yeah. You just get a feel for this.
Well, you should know. You've been doing it for how long?
Now we're using this Cementol Rapid Set. And this is the one that doesn't have the sand in it. As you can see, leaking all over the place. See where it's leaking? We're only going to mix a little bit at a time, just what we're going to need. So now we're just going to mix up what we need that we're going to use in 5 minutes with this fast stuff. And you could use traditional cement, Portland and sand if you want it. But this stuff dries so fast that I'm a happy camper with it. So I'm using it. That's it. So the first step, we wet it once, just wetting it again to make sure I got everything, that's all. It's got to be wet. See that? Just put it in, spread it around. Don't make no big deal out of it, like I always say. Take the sponge float and sponge it in. Fill all those holes in. Get all the holes, that's what we want. I'm going to cover the holes so when we paint it,
You know what that big hole is?
it's such a big deal. You only get so much time to work with this stuff. Let's find its own. I can live with that. Now we go down and we move to the next step. Same thing. Make sure it's wet enough. Down here dripped a little bit. You make sure it's wet. Gotta be wet. That's it. Now we're going to take it again. Get it up in there. Same thing. Get it all flattened out. See that? So we're out of cement now. Like I said, you go over it again later if you want. Now before it gets too hard, between mixes you get your sponge, go around, and kind of fill in all your bad spots. If you want to go over it again, go over it again. I'm going to patch up under here. I don't have anything with me, so we're going to use this old cinder block. That, piece it in here. Yep, small pieces like that, see? First to get them all set up. I'm going to know where they go. I feel like hell leaving it like that. Now for the bottom here, I made my own concoction. What was that, Mike? Well, I used a couple sand, a couple Portland, well, 2 parts sand, 2 parts Portland, and I threw in some of that, what do you call it? I whip this all up, make it stick, like that. See, it's getting hard already. My own concoction. Shove it in there. Shove it in there. Shove it in there. Get my own concoction. And go up with it. Just like that. See that? So you don't want to leave that hole in there like that. Over here. Same thing. Put it in there. These pieces are just jamming it up in there, so it's easier for it to stick. Yeah. Just didn't want to leave it like that. One day. Stuff is getting hard already. Even though it's traditional with cement, mix 3 different types of cement in here. We're not going to paint this for a couple days yet. Okay. So we wet it up pretty good. We get some rapid set. Just go over the bad spots. What's that? We missed that spot. There we go. Make it look decent. That's how we're doing. Making it match up. Filling in them holes. We have a hole up here. So we're going to fill that in. That one. Got to go around and see if we missed anything. Well, it's all drying and the sun is tough, but it's looking good. We're going to wait a few days and then we're going to paint it. Now we're back about a week and a half later because you have to let this cement kind of settle out. We're just going to paint it. Not going to make a big deal out of it. All this is a covering to keep this from getting worse. Cement towel really isn't that good unless you paint over the top of it. It's okay if you're doing something thick, but when you're doing something thin, like steps or that, it's best to paint over it to keep the water from penetrating. So that's it, we're all done. How does it look?
I hope you didn't miss any spots, Mike.
That's typical. So this girl went out with what, 25 years ago?
Yeah. Well, no, 20 years ago.
And she inspired me to write that big song that made me a star throughout the world.
Yes,
right?
you did. Yes, you did.
All right, we're done.
Thank you, Mike.
There's not a lot to say about that job. All I had was a sponge float. These are the soft ones. This is what they're like when they get harder. When they get a little harder, I use them on the cement towel because the cement towel wears them away. But if I have an affiliate site, it'll be below in the description box. Had some extra cement towel, had some extra paint. Took me an hour to scrape it and put the cement towel on. Then I had to go back 10 days later and just paint it. So around these parts, it's always snowing, they're throwing salt on it, they're hitting it with ice picks, they're hitting it with snow shovels. It's good for a year, 2 years, do it again, who cares? Instead of buying new steps, just keep patching them up. Well, that was the old girlfriend who inspired me to write the hit song, I'm So Miserable Without You. It's almost like having you around. And here I am over in Europe on television singing a song, which was quite an experience. So I'll leave the link to that too if you think it's funny enough. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike Haduck. Until next video.